online tonight on Facebook.
This is an extra one, isn't it?
It's not complete. That was
Do
your.
I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve as presented.
Alright,
I'll second it.
motion made and second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Oh my God, I'm not up there. I'm so sorry. I've sat on too many boards and I'm answering aye to your questions. I apologize. Oh my God.
We appreciate your input.
Yes.
Enthusiasm.
I should go make one.
Yeah.
Chit chat for.
Hi, Paul. Oh, yeah.
I'm doing good, Jim.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You have a good winter?
I did.
Yes, ma'am. We had four comments. Did you have something to say? Say that. Michael's making more copies, so.
So since Michael's making more copies.
You can go ahead
Thank
and,
you
you
for
can go ahead and
everybody
do
for
public
being
comment.
here. And also, just
Hi, how
want
you
to
doing?
know
Good.
that we did our spring cleaning this, past 2 weeks, and we had it outside of the building.
Hi.
Washed
Hey, how you
down.
doing? Not too bad, Paul.
The windows
Here
on
you
the
go.
outside,
Thank you,
windows
Mark.
on the
Good to see you.
inside,
How
the
you doing?
bathrooms, walls cleaned and everything, so, and floors
Yeah.
done, and I think they did a wonderful job. We had several different companies in there, so.
Put that in there.
Okay, you got it. How about Mr. Anybody else need one? Alright, yep. Did I go off right by you, not give you one?
I handed it down.
Oh, alright, thank you. Thank you for waiting.
No problem, Michael.
Yes.
Alright. We're gonna move on to public comment. If you have something to say, please stand, give your name, and, we're limiting, comments to 2 minutes, so. Yes, sir, Paul.
Paul Stricklinski, Swenson Road. Our road looks real good down there right now, Jim. We do have one water hole down there, by the gravel pit down there.
Okay,
If somebody could take a look at that, maybe in the future, we could maybe get a little gravel put in there, but that road's in great shape. Great
Excellent.
shape.
yep, I'll have, Dale take a look at it and see what we can do for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dave?
I just got a couple comments here. I mentioned to you already on Nagle Road in front of my place.
Yes.
It got it graded down so bad that I got a lake there in front of the driveway, and I know it says here that they're going to put limestone down,
Right,
but I think before they put the limestone down, they should fill that hole in with gravel. So,
I asked, week before last, I asked Dale to drive over there and take a look at it. Dale Dittenberg.
I'm about ready to get the fishing poles out in it.
I know.
Let's go there.
That's not good.
Alright, and it says they're gonna put limestone on, but they're not gonna put that great big chunk stuff.
No,
No.
it'll be the 1 inch,
Because I know there's,
1.5.
they've been putting it on a lot of county roads and
Yeah,
it's
well,
carrying
we-
up a lot of tires.
Yes.
we had an issue a couple of years ago when they put it down on Bessinger.
I know, I got a fat tire there.
Yeah, a lot of people did, unfortunately,
So,
so, you know,
okay, and I wanted to ask when we're gonna start work on Shenfield.
that work order was signed, last month and, sent to the road commission. I would have to check with, the road commission, see what their schedule is. I can do that.
Okay, and the Nagle Road Bridge that was supposed to be worked on, they're gonna do that this year?
I don't think
No,
so.
I think that was tabled.
Yep.
There was some issue with grant money.
Yep.
And the road commission at our meeting told us that was tabled for this year, so.
Alright, and I forgot to say, I'm Dave Ingles.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Alright, thanks, Dave.
thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yes, sir, in the back.
Josh Estabrook,
Yeah.
1638 Swanson.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate the culvert on Jodway in Santiago. I think that was a great improvement to that ditch line. I'm kinda curious if we're gonna try and do anything along would say the north side of the ditch line, to clear out, it's kinda full of brush if you come this way of, I can't think of it, was that Nearman?
Nearman, yeah.
If you come this way at Nearman, seems considerably clogged up from there to Swanson, and actually, when the waters are high, if you come down to, Jodway and Swanson, Swanson up here drains down to Jodway, and then they cut across. Well, if the waters are high, the water actually flows back north on Swanson, on this side of Swanson. And I feel it's because the drainage on that north side of Swanson is somewhat backed up. So I don't know if that was something, I didn't see it.
You
I
can
think
give credit to the culvert to our drain commissioner, Larry Davis.
Thank you, Larry.
He called me at home and I met him over there. We're fortunate that nobody, that culvert didn't collapse. When they got it out, I saw how bad it was. But Larry had that taken care of
Certainly.
just like 2 days.
Yep. And
And I
it
did-
looks phenomenal. I mean, they put a lot of big stone in, and it
They
looks
did a nice job. I
way
checked
big.
on it 3 or 4 times while
Yeah.
they were working.
certainly.
I drove, Jodway a week ago Friday, I think it was.
Yep.
And I agree, and I talked to Dennis Killenbeck about
Sure.
taking a look at it and
Sure.
see what we can do.
Okay. And I guess my main kind of concern is if it's coming over on one side, but then it's going back up on the other side, or
I think
is it
Larry
actually
would agree that what the problem isn't so much right there, the problem is the couple of houses and the
Down.
driveways and the
Yeah.
small culverts,
Certainly.
right, Larry?
certainly?
That's what you've told us in the past.
We spent quite a bit of time looking at it, both Jim and I put a plan together, I've got a price to
Okay.
clean the entire drain. I'll be in next week to talk to Jim about it, and hopefully we can get it all cleaned up and fixed up before fall.
Awesome.
The entire drain needs to be cleaned.
Cleared, yeah.
I think once we get that done, everything will be fine.
I think it will, because the south side is like twice the side, or twice
Yeah.
the width of the north side, but the north side it falls back at certain places, and I mean, I don't know if people have made comments about on Jodway, but I know that from where I'm at on Swanson, I've physically seen that the water is coming back up Swanson and not going to the drainage off
Yeah.
of the end of Jodway. So
Jodway is in pretty good shape.
It is good.
I wanna keep it that way, so.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
So-
thank you, I
Yep.
appreciate your
Thanks,
time.
John.
thank you.
Yes, Dennis, Mr. Stawally.
Dennis Duwally, I'm from Sterling, the Aranet County Treasurer, and I'm just kind of making the rounds to all the townships. After 24 years as treasurer, I've not filed for re-election this time. So I'll be retiring at the end of the year. But I am here to tell you that I'm running to be on the Road Commission Board. So I appreciate support on that. And it sounds like every township that I've been to so far, that's all that gets talked about is the roads and the drainage and the ditches and everything else. It's kind of like the main issue that goes on in these rural counties. And I just think I'm not ready to keep going to work every day, but I would like to keep myself a little bit busy. And I think I've got some relationship with the people in the county, and I think I could help the road commission out and be of some more service and not be completely retired. So Sherilyn Burkhart, she's been my chief deputy for 3 years. She's taken a lot of notes. She knows what to do and when to do it. She's filed for election to fill my seat, and I wholeheartedly support her going into that. She's been with the county for over 20 years, a lot of experience, and I think she'd be the best person for the job. So, Road Commission, Dennis Duwally, new treasurer, Sherilyn Burkhart.
Who
And I
on
would
the,
not take
who
any
on the
more
board
time.
is up for election?
Doc Schwab, the old Doc Schwab,
Yep.
did not file for re-election.
Okay.
Okay, so it's an open seat.
Okay.
Yep. It's a free, for anybody that doesn't understand how that works, it's a 3-member board, and there's one person of the 3 up every 2 years.
Yeah.
So this year it would have been Doc Schwab's seat. Any other questions for anybody? Anybody?
If you
Right.
ever wanna ride the roads in Au Gres Township, let me know.
And that's no problem. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
You know, because I think
Show
it's
you the
important.
best ones.
I think it's important to get out and see, not just sit somewhere in an office and hear about what's going on in the roads, you know. Technology's better. I've already had some people, Standish Township, I got some pictures that I got from, he took some pictures on his phone and sent them to me after we talked last night at the meeting, and he's got some issues with, you know, the brushing in the ditch and leaving the brush there after they chip it, kind of clogs the culverts up and stuff.
Alright, thank you.
Very
Dennis.
good, thank you, appreciate it, everyone. I may not stay, I apologize, I may
No,
not
you're
stay to
good.
the end of the meeting, because I'm gonna try and catch another meeting tonight. I have another possibility to get to in front of some people, so I'm gonna try and take advantage of that.
Well, if you're in the neighborhood, feel free to stop in.
Always, yep, thank you.
Nancy?
Are you gonna let public comment on future agenda items here, or are you just going to let people speak? So, on pertaining to,
We'll have public comment at the end.
okay, so old business, no public comment?
Right.
Okay. So what I'd like to say then, and take my 3 minutes here, on 10B, this is the second time this request to expand, Kola Farms marijuana outdoor grow, which previously you said no further outdoor grows and technicalities, we can get into that in a minute. But your ordinance states, section 1A, that the Township of Au Gres can provide the adoption of reasonable restrictions to protect the public health, safety, and general welfare of the community at large, retain the character of the neighborhoods, and mitigate potential impacts on surrounding properties and persons. An additional fence, I think, is moving forward into the character of our neighborhood. There's kids in the community. There are other houses, there's farms, there's businesses. I'll continue on down to your ordinance and the description of permitted property. Means the real property comprised of a lot or parcel, other designated unit of real property upon which a permitted premises facility is situated. There's also permit, permit means a current and valid permit for a commercial marijuana facility issued under this ordinance, which shall be granted to a permit holder only for a limited to a specific permitted premise and a specific permitted property. It's not plural. The expansion is going on another property ID. It doesn't matter that it's contiguous, it is another property ID. So based on your ordinance that was adopted, I would certainly hope that all of those factors that I just read would hold the decision of the board to deny this request to expand based on your own ordinance.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy.
Yeah.
I have a question, on the marijuana group, there's 2 of them that are shutting down. One just shut down the processing, does that open up licenses where you could expand?
That will open up, that would make those permits available, yes, if they deny them. If they give them, Pure Green has stopped the processing, but the permit doesn't become, open until it expires.
Got it.
And they're good through November. However, on processors, we still have open permits anyway on that one. So, what was the other one that closed?
I got a call a
Okay.
while back, they're moving out of state, so.
Got it, okay, all right.
Thank you, Jeff. All right.
Alright, Gates, 1966, South Swenson Road. I live around the corner, probably about a half a mile from the original established marijuana grow, and then his additional purchases of property. My question is, just clarify for me, if they own the property and they have the permits to grow, and we have a moratorium, and they're not, if they're not, against the moratorium, then why did they even have to come to the board or the planning commission? Could you explain that to me?
I'm not sure I understood the question.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead,
try
I mean, just do it
understand.
again, I'm sorry, I was trying to write stuff.
I'm just
More-
confused
moratorium.
why, if they're not expanding production, which the gentleman said at the last meeting, that they were not increasing their growth, they just needed more space.
Yes.
So if they're not increasing their growth, where they gotta have more permits, and they own the property, and you feel it's not against the moratorium like a new growth, then why did they have to come to the board and the planning commission? Why did they have to come here? Why did they ask what they're asking?
Good question. I'm not sure I know what the answer is.
Well, the answer to me is that they're going to do an additional growth, and that's against our moratorium that you voted for.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Derek Fort, Green Drive, 2211. I was not at the previous planning commission, but I was at the planning commission when Wayne Kinney here from Kola Farms was asking about expanding here on Manor Road, okay? He said that the board was asking if they were asking for more permits. And what, I have a report on this, what Wayne said was we are not asking for any more permits yet. Okay, so what's going on here is an expansion. West Crumbie has what, 5 Class C licenses? They allow you to grow 2,000 plants per license. That's 10,000 plants. This one, it's something like that, Wes. It's pretty dang close. How many plants can you grow? Anyways, he has the space there to grow them. The thing is, he just wants to increase and move over and grow bigger plants so he can have more marijuana. And he also wants to ruin what the neighborhood looks like, putting up these giant fences. If you go down by where Michael lives, you can see a dilapidated property which is owned by Pharmaco. That property, I researched it with the Michigan, with the marijuana fund and or the marijuana registration. Half the people associated with that grow down the road are banned from growing marijuana. I don't know how this is working out. It's some corporation deal. They're not having been growing. They've been renewing their license for the last 5 years. When's the last time they've grown there? It's pretty crazy, but it looks like crap down there. I mean, you drive by it every single day, Michael. I feel like the board failed us when they did adopt marijuana ordinance by not putting in something to protect the township. So when someone abandons ship and like leaves, and just leaves the stuff there, who's to clean it up? It's just gonna sit there. It's just gonna sit there until it falls apart, until someone else buys it.
This was brought up when they.
You could have put a bond in, you could have put a bond, and Les could have put a couple $100,000 up, so if anything happens, he jumps ship, the money's there, it gets cleaned up when it's gone. But no, we didn't get anything like that. We got $5,000. Les can have up to 5 licenses. He only pays $5,000 for all the licenses. So you can stack licenses, there's no additional fee that the township receives from having multiple licenses.
Can I answer, can I say something? I was on the planning commission when we talked about people that they leave the marijuana grow, and I'm pretty certain in the ordinance we put in a fine that's added to the property taxes, so whoever owns that property, to continue owning it, they have to pay when they pay their property taxes. If not, then it goes back to the county. Am I correct about that? Cause I thought we did that in the ordinance, I'm pretty sure.
I don't believe so.
Never put in normal.
All right.
Because of
That
this
was
exact
suggested
thing that
about
we're
Ron.
talking about, that happened.
Yes, Wes.
So if I go around this county, or this township, I'm sorry, there's dilapidated fences all over. There's all we're gonna impose fines and all these things on every person that has blight here. I just find the whole idea, if we wanted to put up a fence that had nothing to do with marijuana, we could put up a fence, correct?
No.
So the fence, yes, we could.
Oh, yeah, they can,
Yes, we can. And so the fence
One
really
person
doesn't
speaks,
mean.
thank you.
One at a
If we wanted to
time.
continue to put up a fence, we would just put up a fence. We're trying to do the right thing, and to answer your question, the reason we came here, in my opinion, was to just let everybody know what we are doing. We employed over 200 people since we've been there. And I just don't even understand the whole idea of why we're different, or we should somehow, and I say we, I'm on the whole marijuana industry. What happens if up at Shovel, they decided to close that whole thing, they even impose a fine? Look what they did to that building, it's beautiful. If you look at how much taxes I pay, unfortunately, Derek's way misinformed. We pay way more than he's saying, as you guys are well aware in licensing. So what makes us different than everyone else with all the blight I see all over Au Gres Township? So, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Wes.
Thanks, Russ.
Anybody, yes, Larry?
Yes, Larry Davis, Davis Road. I would like to see, moving forward, that pass a resolution to work with Au Gres Township, not even Au Gres City, to develop an ordinance covering the illegal migrants that are here. And also, take a look at your planning commission board. Anyone that's connected to marijuana should not sit on that board. I mean, you've got the tail wagging the dog. And, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair to everybody else. It's loaded. It's been loaded since day one. And it's not right. Actually, what's happening right now, the township is helping a group of people exploit another group of people. You've got people that are coming in here that can't work anyplace else other than for marijuana. And once they're being paid, whatever, they're taking their food out, their lodging and everything. So when they crow about $25 an hour, that's not so. They're lucky to be making a few dollars when it's all said and done. And they're being controlled. I mean, the Federal Farm Workers Union would not back anything like this. The Department of Agriculture won't back it. We've been told that these are Jose and his kids coming up to whole beans. That's not the case. These people are working for an LCC. Look at their tattoos and everything. I mean, the city of Au Gres really looked at it. I just feel that this board needs to have someone from the board, other than Michael and you, Jim, and I'm not saying that because one of the trustees that's independent work with the city of Au Gres to develop this. They're not spending their money in Au Gres because they don't want the old McCarty's bar turned into a lodge for migrants.
Thank you, Larry. One comment, none of the board members on the planning commission are connected with the marijuana industry, so. Anybody else?
Anymore.
I have a quick question, can I
Yes.
direct it to us?
Sure. Would you
Because
stand up,
this is
please?
From what I'm understanding is that it's just like, so Wes had property and then he bought another parcel? Is
No,
that
he
what
owned
happened?
that property.
Why wasn't it all put together then?
You don't have to combine properties just because you own them.
Okay.
It's a
So that-
financial incentive
that's
of
the
when you do or
problem,
don't.
right? Is that it's just two different parcels, so now Wes wants to develop on another parcel.
Correct, his original application
He's
had
not
one
gonna add
parcel
more
ID.
plants, right?
Correct, his original application had one parcel ID on it, and the one they want to expand to was not on that.
All right, thank you.
But they were, I guess I'm just trying to understand.
Mr. Kinney.
Wayne Kinney, representing Kola Farms, 2285 Manor Road. So there's nothing in the ordinance that says a business can't expand. That's almost ridiculous to think, right? Businesses, that's the whole point of businesses, to expand, provide more employment, provide more income, provide more taxes for the township. In regards to the permitted premise definition, I think it's pretty clear in here. What they're saying is we can't operate outside of a place that we have not told you we're going to operate. That's why I brought this to the board, is to tell you we intend to operate and expand our grow. Why didn't we do it in the beginning? It's a finance thing. Why doesn't anybody, why does anybody expand anything? Because it's financing. We just didn't have it to do at the time. But these are all properties owned by Kola, by one owner. We're totally contiguous. We meet we're very similar to the rest of the area. We're agricultural. The area is agricultural. We're surrounded by farm fields. what we don't farm is left to a reservation for wildlife. Don't really understand the fight we get for this. We're employing all of your neighbors, and hundreds of them over the past 3 years. I mean, you wanna talk about roads? What does marijuana do for the roads? Everybody seems to be happy that their roads are getting fixed. We're a major part of that. And I can't say what happens at other farms. That's their business. We're
Thank you,
doing
Wayne.
the best we can. Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Fix roads that lead to roads. They don't fix roads that go to homes, they
Right.
fix roads that go to roads.
Anybody else? Thank you, we appreciate your input.
Yep.
Moving on, approving, can we do these together or no?
Yes, yeah, you can do them, we did last month, with all three of them.
Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes from the April 9th, 2024 Board of Trustees meeting and the April 22nd, 2024 meeting to review the road project?
I make a motion to accept the approval of minutes from April 9th and April 22nd.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'd like to make a comment about one of the road projects, if I might.
You can make it.
We had a bid of $45,000 to do a mile and a half of Dwyer Road from Manor South. Chuck Woods gave me a revised estimate tonight, and it's reduced by $3,000.
Well, thank you, Joe.
So, thank you very much. So, we did okay it last month, but we'll work with this 42,000 this
Yeah,
month, so thank you
excellent.
very much.
Thanks, Joe. And it's coming along very nicely, I gotta tell you.
I haven't checked on it, but I will.
I live there,
Yeah,
so I see the trucks going by and by.
alright.
He's doing a real bang up job, so it's
Good.
looking really good.
We did a nice job on Davis. Alright. We have some bills.
Indeed we do.
Make a motion to accept pay the bills.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second to pay the bills. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report as of April 30th, 2024. The general fund, $212,443.21. Road fund, $150,578.46. Water fund, $5,912.46. The ditching, $102.58.33. Trash fund, $97,669.82. The tax fund, $1,449.29. Mosquito, $41,751.94. And the marijuana, $120,098.46. We have CDs in several different bids. That will be the mosquito fund, the gypsy, moth, Huntington Bank is going to be $130,000 that we took from the marijuana fund into the CD also, until needed. We also put from the general fund, a money market into Huntington Bank, $50,000. Horizon Bank, we have 2 CDs. Those are due in October and September. Those funds were taken from the general fund and put into CD at this point. And a money market and Horizon for $100,000. Our total is $1,658,505.44. And the CDs are broke down at the bottom. Are there any questions?
appreciate your effort in keeping on top of all
Amen.
those funds, so.
Thank you. So far this year, we've approved over 19,000
Excellent.
Yeah.
in interest. In interest on just those funds, I believe. Last year it was 27,000. So 27 total until this time, sorry.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right,
I'll second that.
we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of accepting the treasurer's report as given, say aye. Aye. All right, board reports. All right. Au Gres Sims Whitney, fire board meeting was held at the Whitney Township Hall last month. Tom Brandmore gave the treasurer's report. We reviewed the usual monthly bills. Tom discussed the budget audit that was completed the first week of May. I also passed on a copy of the fire department millage that will be up for renewal on the August election. He also had the proposal reviewed by the fire board attorney before submitting them to the county clerk, so. Kurt Humrick House reported that the Au Gres Fire Hall needs a new roof. So he's gonna contact local contractors to get bids to replace the roof. The firefighters thought they might try it themselves, but most of them have jobs and other responsibilities. So they responded to 5 fire calls. 2 of them were false alarms. Had a grass fire, some down power lines, and what appeared to be smoke on Charity Island. So fortunately, it turned out it was smoke coming across the bay, but it looked like there was a fire on Charity Island, so anyhow. The next fire board meeting will be May 16th here at the Au Gres Township Fire Hall. And that's an open meeting. Anybody interested in attending, it's at 7 o'clock, so. Thank you. All right. Heritage Road.
I attended the meeting, what was it, Monday night? I mentioned Give Local Bay last month. It's an opportunity for anyone to donate to 55 nonprofits. They have an online donating, and you can see, they have a leaderboard so you can see who's in what place. The courthouse got $12,605 with 91 donors, and the Standish Depot received $4,730 with 27 donors. Camp Fishtails was the #1, which is a camp for disabled children. So I guess it was back and forth between the courthouse and Camp Fishtails during the evening, and they got a very large donation at the last minute, so, but it's a great cause, so we were just as happy to relinquish first place to them. The countywide garage sale is June 6th and 7th. The courthouse is having a junk and bake sale Memorial Weekend, just Friday and Saturday, if you'd like to stop by and get some goodies or browse through our junk. The farmer's market will start June 13th and will go through September 14th. And the classic car show is July 7th. And I'm not gonna go into the Santa Parade and all that stuff, that's too far ahead. Anyway, our last bake sale at the courthouse, we made a record $1,033, so we had lots of goodies and $948 in junk. So it's a lucrative money maker. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it because that money keeps the courthouse in good shape and pays the bills, etc. Anyone have any questions? Okay.
Did you say the courthouse sale was on the same weekend as the garage sales?
No, it's June
June 20, that's it,
25th.
25th, okay, thank you.
25th and 26th.
25th, 26th.
Yeah, just Friday and Saturday.
Okay,
Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
thanks, Jan.
Heritage, or pardon me, zoning administrator.
Stand up so they can hear me.
Thank you.
I'm Rick Gallup, I live over on Booth. We've had, 2 lots, hopefully they're sold on Booth, and that's gonna be a pole barn, a house. They wanna put a septic system in, everything else, so it's all if the property sells. So that's, the gentleman, he's a local gentleman that's involved in buying that. There's a new garage going up on Rumsey, which I approved a while back, and that's in pretty good shape. A fence is gonna go up between the garage and the house over on Au Gres Road. And I was wondering why it didn't get done, but the husband passed away suddenly. And I got the phone call on that, and now she's got a contractor involved because she put the house up for sale. But she wants that fence in anyhow, so it's just 35 feet of fence, like I say, it'll be all. The project with Atwater, I think there's gonna be a house, not a house, but a new garage and fun room and whatnot. I don't know what's going on there, it's, he told me he wanted to get it done fast, well, it's not really happening.
Seems like it's on pause.
It's on, yeah. Cantu's place is coming right along, the one that he's building, for another couple, and the one over on Green is really coming along nice. They're both all dried in, everything is on the inside. So, we had one over on Hale, is that, yeah.
Yep.
Hale Road, a garage about 300 or 400 feet back in, the property is behind another lot, and that's gonna be double car garage. And, we went with that one, I told him that was okay. I got a phone call yesterday. There's a gentleman by looking at 4.5 acres on 65, north of 65 on our side of it. They want to know if we could put in a place. He wants to put a foundation in and put a double wide on it, 28 by 60. So, right now he lives in Gaylord, works in Dearborn. He wants to be here where he's halfway.
Wow.
So that's what that one's doing on that. So, that's about it right now, so, yeah.
That new house on Green Drive, when consumers connected that
Oh,
gas
yeah,
line.
I drove over that today. You can feel the bump,
Yeah,
but I don't know if they've come back yet or not, so.
well, it's a lot better than the way they left it last fall.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
talked to Bob Balzer from Consumers about that.
Yeah.
That wasn't acceptable the way they left it. I drove across it, Saturday.
Okay,
And you're right, there is a bump there.
Yeah.
So,
I went over today about 3 o'clock.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the road was paved in 2022, and then they come along and leave it like that.
No, so.
Uh,
Oh, a question arose in our neighborhood. People are wondering why, when we redid when we pre-paved Booth, why Seven Seasons Court is still a dirt road.
I talked to Heath Christie about that yesterday. I said, I should have included that in the bid. I said, I drove by there the other day and it dawned on me, we should have included it.
Yep.
How much more would it have cost, you know?
Can't be that much more.
No.
I'm just
No.
wondering if because there's no gravel there, I think it's mostly sand. So
It
they
would have
put a
been
little
built
bed
out.
down
It
first,
would
but,
have-
But regardless,
It should be done.
the paving company was there.
Yeah.
So, I admit I didn't include it when I was
Okay.
looking for bids.
yeah, I've had a few questions on that one, so,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Heath about it yesterday.
Two things on that, on Cantu, he was came in yesterday, and he's looking to split the 2 lots on
Lola Lane,
on Lola Lane
Yeah.
and build another house.
another house,
Yep. and
bigger
then-
than the one he's got built right
so-
now.
And then I got a call today from, the gal that has the house on Green Drive. And she's looking to move up in another couple months. Her husband had passed away, that was a while back and everything, but she's looking on, not to move up, but to occupy. She was asking about the garbage. Garbage
okay.
collection, and I
Yeah.
told her, yeah, I said, so I gave her the lowdown on that, but I met her and we talked for quite a bit, so.
Well, that's on a double lot, and they position the house, so if she decides to sell the other lot,
She can split
she
it.
can sell it, she can split it, yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned garbage. I contacted GFL, Paul, that reactivates your pickup for your trash.
I also talked to the driver, so I'm good. They were
Okay.
down there. Thank you.
Alright. Anything else, Art?
I'm just wondering how our fence deal is going on. Any more on that fence on, Low Land?
On the low end?
Yeah, the house is for sale.
Houses for sale? Okay,
Haven't heard any more.
alright. Okay.
Linwood Cemetery.
Okay, we did ask the tribe for the benches and the, trash containers, and we don't know yet when.
Probably be the end of this month, I believe.
Okay, so we'll have some information at our next meeting. One thing that was brought up yesterday at the hairdressers is there's some vandalism going on at the cemetery. There's little things that are being stolen.
From our cemetery?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so if you see anything, let us know, you know,
Unfortunately, we had a similar situation a year or so ago. And,
well, apparently on one of the sites, there's a solar light. And the hairdresser who has family out there and was working on their plots noticed that the solar light was kind of pulled apart. Here somebody had gone in and stolen the battery out of the solar light. Left the solar light, but stole the battery. So if you see anything, let us
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
we wanna make sure the cemetery looks good by, Memorial Day also.
Right.
I noticed that the flags are out for the veterans.
Okay, another thing I wanna mention too, but I don't know, I don't have the time, is there is a service at the cemetery on Memorial Day, Sunday. It's usually pretty early, but
I believe it's after the parade, isn't it?
no.
Before
it's-
the parade?
Yeah,
Okay.
do you know when it is?
They usually put a list in the paper, cause they
It's
get all
a
the
Sunday,
cemeteries.
it's a Sunday before, Memorial Day. When the parade, it lines up at 11 o'clock.
11, it seems like it's around
They're early.
8:30,
Yeah, it's early in the morning.
8:15, something like that, it's early.
Do you happen to recall whether the flag is in good shape or not? I didn't, I was over there and I didn't notice it.
We've got an extra one here for that Barbara ordered me one, but she usually orders a flag for that, so she may have one.
She keeps an eye on that?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Alright.
We can check that though.
And we asked Dominic yesterday to power wash the cement
Oh,
in
good.
front of the monument. So. Anything else,
So
Kenny?
that's it.
Thank you very much. Alright, old business. Tire drive.
I've been asked by a couple more people about having the tire drive here. When I mentioned the fact that they're collecting at the at the conservation district, with John Hergat and everything. Mostly that people are saying it's a long way to drive and our tire drive was free. So, free drop off, so I don't know that that's something I know you worked a little bit on it, but that's why I put it on there.
Yeah, I have
See if we
some-
still, were we going to do it, what we're gonna do.
I think we should do it. I have some information that I got from GFL
Got the funds.
and, the pricing, but I thought we'd discuss that later on, maybe in September or August.
We
Maybe
talked
normally
about,
have it.
we usually had it quite in the fall, but the idea with spring clean, when we talked about it in the previous meetings, we've kind of brought up the fact that if we have it in the spring, people are they're more apt to clean up their yard before the breeding, mosquitoes and stuff.
That's a good point.
That was one of the points that we thought of having it in the spring, go ahead.
Speaking of cleaning up, we have the clean up the township
Yep.
dumpsters coming next week.
Yep,
You don't have that?
This Friday.
sure it is, right down at the bottom. Item
Oh,
L,
I see, I'm sorry.
Not a
I'm
problem.
sorry.
but I mean, we could combine the two or something, or have that,
Jim,
No, I wasn't saying that to
No,
combine
I-
with the
no.
title.
that
okay.
blue poster over there under local happenings gives you the information on, the pickup for the conservation office.
Okay. For the tire thing?
Yeah, if you wanna check it
The
out,
other one, okay.
cause there is a cost for the tires.
Yeah, that was one of the things that people kinda knew when they asked if we were going to have it, so. Okay, so that's all I have.
I think we should. Alright. Item B, planning commission. On 4/29/2024, we recommended the board approve Kola Farms expansion request.
Now, when it first was suggested, when it first came to the planning commission, and then it was, the planning commission said that they recommended to the board that they would do it, then it came back here, and the question was the concept of it being a new grow. New grow, even though it's parcels that they already own. And so at last meeting, you can see in the minutes where it's talked about, at the last meeting, it got sent back to the planning commission to talk about that. I wasn't there for that meeting, but the way I understand it is the planning commission discussed it and sent it back to the board for recommendation. It was recommended. Go ahead, Jim, and Jeff.
Yes, I can speak to that.
If you would, please.
The reason the planning commission approved that was because the original license said it grows so many plants. They're not growing that many. And this land that they've had right along, by using it, will enable them to finally hit their licensing amount. So this isn't really doing anything, they're already not licensed, they're not already licensed for it. So that was our reasoning in approving, in recommending approval.
That makes sense.
Thank you. So, are we ready to move ahead?
Jim, can I ask a question on that? As far as these marijuana facilities, when they were licensed, that was part of the licensing process, that they could only grow so many plants? There wasn't anything as far as what acreage was involved?
Not at all. It was the
Just how
number
many-
of the number of plants
they
with
could
the
grow.
license, right.
Okay.
But it was on the parcel that was identified per your ordinance, it must be identified. It was identified in their original application, these other parcels were not. That is very clear in your ordinance.
I guess we're all gonna speak out of turn, it doesn't say that at all.
You want to bring it back up? I just read it to you verbatim.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it should be decided,
Yeah,
rather than
otherwise
send it back.
we're holding them
Yeah.
back from.
This
It's
is
okay, we're going to-
something we're gonna do this year, or maybe anytime soon. It's just an idea, and if we're gonna limit it, we wanna make sure we can do what we can. Maybe what we should have done in the very beginning, I understand, but we didn't know any of this. How could we have possibly known?
And your point about the fact that expansion, that's something that a business does over time.
In light of what
Something that, say that, Pat?
You have some input yet? No? Okay.
Can we get a copy of the verbiage on it then?
Pat, you
Before
have
it's
some
voted on,
comments?
we show that we did.
Okay, in light of what, Ms. Sully, stated tonight and everything, okay, I would like to suggest that this go back to the planning committee.
Aren't we already
For us
past
to
that?
look.
They had the opportunity to read this stuff.
Silence, please.
I understand that, but Nancy did bring up a good, the ordinance portion of that. I was not aware of. I have brought it and everything, but I would like this to be looked over again by the planning committee. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay, I just asked what the question is. What's the because the last time the question from the planning commission was, can we do it?
Okay.
They said again, yes, so what's the question you're going to pose to the planning commission?
Okay.
Because Nancy doesn't like it? Or-
No. I'm trying to be fair with the community and with you also, okay? But we also have to go by our ordinance. Nancy brought up a good fact there. I want to look into that as the planning
What is the
committee.
fact, that's all I'm asking.
The fact, Nancy, could you read that again, please?
Sure. I'm gonna bring it up.
That it is just in reference to the parcels.
Maybe it could be beneficial to bring in an outside party to interpret the language in it, so there's not conflicts of interest and.
I think the ordinance is very clear, that
Yeah.
you read it, if she
Right.
reads it again.
Nancy is going to
believe
read
that-
the ordinance.
Let's
Okay.
have it, no more
Haven't all read
discussion.
the ordinance?
Just a second. Let me find it, I have it placed. Okay. Permit means a current and valid permit for a commercial marijuana facility issued. Now it's
Can
pertaining
you
to-
stand up and read that, please?
Sure. So permit, so this is pertaining to the permits that they said they had from the beginning, that they hold and were granted. Means a current and valid permit for a commercial marijuana facility issued under the ordinance, which shall be granted to a permit holder only for a limited to a specific permitted premise and a specific permitted property. Which
And
their
then
application
the last words
identified.
there is what I would like the planning committee just to
Can we, so if we're
refer
gonna let
to.
her speak, may I speak
Yeah,
on this?
but one at a time.
So-
Only one person speaking at a time.
So if I,
The other fact that I want everyone to know here is that Kola Farms is not buying any more permits for any further. They
can't
already
farm.
have the permits, but are not using them, okay? So that just has to be clear for everybody, that there are no more permits
But
to
they
be
own
bought.
more, so
But
they
those
own more.
permits-
One at a time.
Those
Not
permits
even
were
more,
issued, or correct me, were issued prior, we have a moratorium. And
That's not that. Move along. Go ahead, Wayne, you talk and then we're gonna move on.
So we talked about the, so she reads the definition of permits, and it includes the words, may I? It reads the words specific permitted premise. So I look at permitted premise definition. Means the particular buildings or buildings within the permit holder will be authorized to conduct a facility's activities. That's what we're here for. We are telling you, this is where we intend to operate. It doesn't say we can't expand that permitted premise. It says this is where we intend to operate. It means I can't go across the road and operate. I can't operate outside of the area that I tell you I'm going to operate. It doesn't say I can't expand that on my own property.
That's after you receive the permit.
It doesn't say that.
We're not asking for
Okay.
any new permits.
All right, we're gonna move on.
They like to spend that
I move we send this,
No,
wish,
go ahead and move, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead, Jen.
I move we send this proposal back to the planning commission so they can dissect the ordinance and see exactly where Kola Farms stands.
And I support that too, because in the wording, it says expand, and to me, that's expand, having more.
But they're not
And-
having more than what they were permitted for in the first place.
That's right.
You got a permit for 100 and they're only growing 75, for example.
Exactly.
But they wanna go and put it in a different spot.
We've already
And
discussed that,
dig
the
up
planning board's
this
already approved
extra
that.
spot and put a big fence along there. Not that I'm against the fence and I'm not against you guys,
Right,
but we did say no more outside grow. And even though we gave them the privilege or to grow whatever, how many more,
You got a
it's
motion?
still expanding.
Yeah, I wrote it down as a motion, so.
All right, we have a motion.
I'll
We have
second.
support. Roll call
To send it back to,
to send it back.
okay.
So I have a proposal to send I'm gonna need a better wording is what I had, so go ahead and start over.
Alright, the motion is
Especially
to
specifically
refer
what
back
we're
to,
sending it back
refer
to
back
them
to
for.
the planning commission for clarification based on the Au Gres Township marijuana ordinance.
Didn't we already do that?
What
Or-
clarification?
Verification of parcel
For
number.
a parcel number.
Okay.
Is there an ordinance number on that, Nancy, there?
I'm sorry, what
Is
was
there
that?
a particular ordinance number on that, please?
This is underneath your definitions, section 2 definitions.
It's the only ordinance.
Yeah, there's just one of those.
Yep.
Is that this?
We have a motion, we have a second.
We don't yet, I wanna make sure I have the wording exactly the way it's. Don't mean to stop.
Make sure we go back to the definition of what it's saying.
Did we not ask the planning commission to define that? Last member redefinition of the same thing we asked. Because Nancy.
So I have a proposal to send the issue of the parcel numbers back to the planning commission for clarification.
Michael, that's just what you guys did last time.
I'm just following a board motion here, so, well. Is that how you guys want it worded?
Where'd the proposal part come in?
Well, it's a motion, I'm sorry, thank you.
Okay,
He's saying that there's a proposal. Does that define how you guys wanted it? Do you wanna check?
say
the
it one
wording?
more time, please.
I have a motion to send the issue of parcel numbers back to the planning commission for clarification.
Parcel and permit. Parcel numbers and
I think,
permit
and I think we should
wording
expedite
on
this.
our ordinance.
Didn't Jess just answer that question? Yeah, that was voted on in the last planning commission.
You're not feeling well, feel free to step outside.
I mean,
Alright,
may I speak, if this is about us, Nancy?
certainly.
This is exactly what you passed it back down to the board for. The question last time for the planning commission was, if it's on a separate parcel, is it a new growth?
That was
or
my
expansion?
question.
They approved, they recommended that for approval, they answered that question. This is the same question, whether you say parcel number or different parcels, it's the same
And
question.
that was my question last month, and that's what was referred back to the planning.
They approved it.
Yes.
So why would we, so you're gonna send it back to the exact same question?
Not based
I don't
on the
think it's the same
definition of
question
the
at all.
ordinance. It's not the same question at all.
Not at all.
We're having one speak
One
at a
speaker.
time.
That would be
So-
my probably thing to
so I
recommend to
get-
go back to the planning board is to ask them based on their own ordinance and their definitions of what the ordinance reads for clarification, so that they know what they have to look into.
Did they not know last time?
No, it wasn't discussed at all.
Yes, Dave?
I just wanna, when we started all this marijuana growing in the township, right?
Yeah.
Everyone had to be permitted, okay?
Correct.
And they got a permit to grow X number, was it based only on parcels, or was it based on the number of plants they can grow?
Number of plants.
Number of plants.
Okay, so if this guy has a parcel here and he can grow, say 150 plants on it, but he only grows 50 on that one, can he say, well, I'm gonna put 50 on another parcel? Or does he have to maintain the 100 plants on the parcel that was approved in the first place?
That's the question.
That's the
That's
point.
That's the
point.
question we asked the planning board, Jess, did we not already
That's
discuss
This
it?
is, well, no, I don't think they asked the planning board whether you could
Yes, they did.
expand, they asked,
That's exactly what they asked.
you said the number of plants.
One at a time.
The question that I asked was that if you got a 10-acre parcel and you got a permit to plant 200 plants, can you say, okay, I'm only gonna plant 100 plants on this 10 acres, then I'm gonna plant 100 on another? Cause the original thing was, you can plant this many plants on this parcel that we approved, correct?
That's not how
Correct.
ordinance work. Doesn't come out person.
All right, let's move on.
Man.
We have a motion and we have support.
I don't have a wording.
You don't have a word.
I'm sorry, I mean,
Alright.
it's been going back and forth, I'm not gonna vote on something that's not worded, so.
Sure.
Is the
So I
project
just wanna
divided?
clarify the question, that the gentleman behind me is asking. Licenses are based on, and permits are based on plant count. They're not based on property size. The question that was asked of the planning commission last time was if it expands to another parcel, is that a new grow or is that the same grow expanding? The planning commission responded with, it is the same grow expanding. We're not asking for more plant count.
That was my question last month, because I asked if you received a second, if you received a second tax bill on that parcel, and you do. And that, the planning commission did review it based on my question from last month, so. And they discussed it, reviewed it, and approved it.
And now
Unanimous.
it's not sure.
Unanimous, yes, there was not a single no vote.
But it was not based on your ordinance verbiage.
If I could
Go ahead, Jess.
speak to the question. I don't see any additional information coming to light here in what we considered last time around at our meeting.
I agree with you.
And, I don't see any new evidence that would, give us legal reason for reversing that.
There you go. There you go.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
Cause I think maybe there's.
Can you stand up, Lisa?
Yes, I will. Lisa, Barry Strauss. Lisa Sullivan. Okay, I think, from what I think I missed something as well. I think what Nancy's saying, the ordinance allows for X amount of plants on this permit that was given out on this parcel, correct? Is this what I'm gathering? Is that what you gathered?
He bought several permits.
But when you.
They were permitted on the parcels that they have.
Right, and this is outside, so that kinda takes it to a different level, but, am I right? Correct. So, when you talk about 2 tax IDs, that's a different parcel, correct? But you wanna expand it to, that's where it makes this ordinance, this is where the ordinance comes into play, like you're trying to figure it out, correct?
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was asking.
And that's exactly why it was referred back to the planning commission last month.
Right, but just know that, that's the confusion
Okay,
here.
then,
Is when it's a different order, or a different parcel, but that original permit included one parcel, but not a second one. I think that's where the confusion is.
And all those permits.
However, it already was precedent for them to be allowed to move to the next 10 acres that was there.
Yeah, we did it already.
They did it already, this is not a new issue.
But that was against the ordinance, is what Nancy's saying.
You allowed it to
Nancy's
happen.
wrong, I'm sorry.
But that's not what the ordinance says.
Right.
But okay, we won't go there. Yes, Dave?
So they were permitted to grow X number of plants on the permit parcel. There was a description of the
They
parcel or
already,
whatever.
they
And
already,
let me
go ahead,
finish.
I'm sorry.
And they already expanded because the number of plants that they could grow on that parcel, they expanded some of those to another parcel, and now we're trying to expand it to another parcel. So, like I was trying to say they got 100 plants that they can grow. And alright, they split that already, so now they're growing 50 on each parcel. And now they're gonna want another parcel to expand again, so they're gonna divide those 50 in half and put.
No, they have more more plants to grow than there is space to grow it.
Okay,
They're not dividing them up, they cannot complete the permit.
Well, that was
that
my
they have.
original question. If they were permitted for 150 plants on this parcel,
It's 2,000.
and they only planted 50 on this parcel, and said, well, I wanna plant 50 on that parcel, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's not the case.
Okay, so we have X amount of plants and we don't have enough room to utilize them all. So we're just asking to use the property we've owned.
We have a question in the back.
Alright, that was I just wanted
I'm just curious, what is stopping Kola Farms from fulfilling, with using their plant count currently? They have 20 acres, is it 20 acres, Wayne?
We have much more than 20
It's fenced in, what's fenced in, 20 acres, 38?
Roughly 13.
13 acres fenced in. Why can't they grow their plants in their 13 acres? They wanna make them bigger. I work at a marijuana facility. We grow them, we started pretty dang small, and we flip 5,000 plants every 2 weeks. So these guys just wanna be able to make them really, really big. That's what they're trying to expand. They could grow what their licenses allow them to in the space that they have. I promise you that, because you can grow a plant this big, that's a plant count. You can grow a plant 10 feet big, and that's one plant. So that's the problem here, and that's just an issue with what's going on there.
I think we should call the question.
Most places do smaller plants, and it allows them to put those plants in the space that they were allotted to grow the plants in.
Thank you, Derek.
I work for a facility.
Are you already growing on more than one parcel?
Yes, which we allow.
There's our answer right there, we've already allowed them to
Already
grow
allowed.
on more than one parcel.
Just because you made a mistake the first time doesn't mean you repeat it. They threaten lawsuits.
Alright, one at a time,
Call the question.
and we're moving on.
And again,
Yes, you should talk.
as Amanda said, why don't we bring in a third party to look at this, because this is, you
This
guys are
is,
so
this
right.
is township business, and the board is responsible for taking care of township business.
Right, but it looks
That's
like
what we're
it's-
here for.
Right, enough of all the stuff out there.
Right,
For the board to decide.
Right.
and they already are growing on more than one parcel,
Yes.
which has been permitted, so. You have something to say?
I do. I am on the planning committee. I am also on the board, okay? I'm not saying that I'm perfect. So, if the planning committee did not catch what Ms. Selle just said, then I believe that this again should go back to the planning committee and we should look at it. I am very sorry for the Kola Farms,
Yeah.
but I also am here for not only them, but for the whole in part, okay?
Thank you.
So I would like this to go back to the planning committee, to be looked at another time, since we have this on the board. We make mistakes also, okay?
I would like to, if we do, I'd like to expedite it, Michael. Larry.
Yes.
You don't have an ordinance.
Jim?
All right, this is, he's the last speaker.
I see a marijuana grow facility in the old Jackson and Church building. I see a parking lot filled with cars of people that are local that's working there. I don't see any problems other than the smell. Everything that West has got involved in has been a problem. We need to take a look.
We don't need that kind of comment, Larry.
That's good,
No, that is not
From zoning to fences, that's whatever.
I don't know fences, what about
Dixie, we need to take a look at his license.
Okay, that's enough.
All right.
We are going on with our business, and we do not need to hear that kind of talk.
What kind
We
of
are moving
What
things,
kind
we
of
are
talk?
moving
We're going
that.
to vote right now. He was the last speaker right now.
Thank you. So what we're requesting is to send it back to the planning commission. Does everyone agree?
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I said.
thank you. Moving on, Jim?
Yes.
You don't have to pass the motion?
I don't think so. I think we all agree that's good enough.
We had a motion, we have support.
But you didn't vote on it.
We haven't voted yet.
You just said we're going on.
No, we're gonna vote.
That's not what you said.
There's nothing to vote on.
All in favor of sending this back to the planning commission for another review say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
So we have 3 ayes and 1 no, 2 noes.
2 noes.
Okay.
Thank you, board. All right, new business. Road project.
These are the 2 that had to be, that we tabled the last time. Go ahead, Jim, I don't mean to talk
Yeah.
over you.
These are the 2 road projects that had to be tabled last time. I wanted to have a second look at these. One is from, they're both on Nago Road. One is from, Santiago West to Nearman, and the other is on Nago Road, a half-mile east of, Shenfield.
In your packet, you'll see you've got a quote there from Killenbeck, and then you've got the 2 road commission work orders. And that was why we tabled it last time, was because of the fact that we were trying to, see about the better price, and we only had, the Killenbeck one is for the longer, one of them is half a mile, 1.6 miles, and the Killenbeck quote here at 16.4 is for the longer one. We don't have one for the shorter one, but it can give you an idea of what it would be for the shorter one, would be less than that 16.4.
Right.
And if you looked at the amounts that are there on the, what the maximum township cost is on number 4 and 5 from the road commission, it's showing it as $12,017. And that would be, as we discussed at the road commission meet, at our meeting, road review meeting, how the, matching funds apply and everything. So,
Is that only up to that 60,000?
Yes, it is.
That's what we get from the road commission,
Yeah.
60,000.
Right.
Then we have 20 in contingency. But this would be towards the 60,000.
But the other ones have already paid that.
not necessarily, it depends on where we use it, but I was just using that as an example. If you wanted to compare the 2 numbers.
Now, let's see, either we can use, I think we could use marijuana money on the Nago Road east of, Shenfield.
Shenfield one, yep.
Yeah.
Let me see why not.
Could I ask a question here, Jim?
We are doing board business right
Yes.
now. If you can hold your question until the next meeting.
We would use marijuana money on that portion of Nago.
So is that Santiago or the Shenfield?
That's from, Shenfield East. That's the one with the road commission. So,
The question is, we do want to do the work.
we wanna do the work, no question.
What's your choice?
Do we support our local contractors or give all the work to the road commission? Mr. Comeback has done good work, Chuck Woods has done good work for us, so.
Well, the bid for the cheaper one is the road commission one.
Right.
It would be if you considered using the part of the,
On both of them.
on both of them,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Right.
I make a motion that we have both of the Nago Road go to the road commission.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll second that.
alright, we have a motion, and we have a second, that both Nago Road projects go to the road commission.
Okay. And Penny, so that's Pat, and Penny, you second?
Yeah.
Yep.
Question.
Go ahead.
Go
So
ahead.
that's up to 12,000 each approximately?
That's what we're considering, yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
And that's the maximum cost, where what the actual could be is right above that at 10,450,
Okay,
or even less, that
so if we went with the private contractor, would that
Private
That would come
contract.
out of our,
Their,
road fund.
okay, that money from the road commission wouldn't apply then, they did up. the
Right.
Oh,
reduction.
right, yeah, no, that would be that total amount, that's 16.4.
Right.
Okay.
Plus for the other one, I mean,
Okay.
that we don't
Okay.
have, which would
Just
be
wanna make
maybe
sure I
15,000.
understand.
Okay, yep,
Okay.
so I got that, so we got a
Any
motion
further
and a
questions?
second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second to, send both of these projects to the road commission. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We can take care of that tomorrow morning.
Righto.
May I ask a question now?
Yes.
I was looking at the minutes from April 22nd for the road projects.
Right.
And on the bottom, number 4 and number 5, both say Novel Road. It says 1 1/2 inch limestone.
Yep.
Because you just told me that they were gonna put 1 inch down.
He did say 1 inch when he did that, and I corrected him, but I don't think he heard me, so. The quotes are for 1.5 inch.
That's the big stuff that busts tires?
No, that was
No,
2 inches.
That was 2 inch.
Oh, okay, and I also noticed that number 4 and number 5 both say limestone from Nearman to San Diego.
Oh, then that's my mistake, as I put that down.
And
in my
this one
minutes.
says, there's 2 of them, and one's from San Diego to Nearman, the other one's from east to Shenfield. So I just,
Well, looking
Yeah, so
at,
that's what-
looking
hold
at
on.
today's agenda,
yeah, I understand what
No,
today's
yeah,
agenda
let me see
says.
that, it did that,
but I'm saying what the.
yeah, that's incorrect. Okay, I'll correct that. So the
Thank
one
you,
is from
Dave.
Nearman to Santiago, and the other one is from
Shenfield.
Shenfield, yeah, my bad.
The other one's from Shenfield to Nearman then.
No, Shenfield to,
Nearman to Santiago is one of the projects. The other one is from Shenfield a half mile east. That's by your property.
Oh, so you're not gonna go down this Swanson Road?
No, that road is in pretty good shape. I've driven it several times this year.
Okay.
okay, thank you for noticing that.
Yeah.
Well, I was just trying to get a clarification.
Yes, and I understand that, I understand the confusion there, because you guys don't see the work orders that we're looking
It's
at.
gonna be 1 1/2 inch.
And there's 1.5 inch limestone road mix, hauled in level.
I have the Bessinger Road, one of the rocks off of Bessinger Road in that cube back there, so. Anyhow,
Trying to clarify.
and I'll check with
Thank
the
you for
road
bringing that
commission
up.
tomorrow and see when they have Shenfield scheduled.
Well, if you're gonna talk to them, see if they're gonna bring a load of gravel and fill the lake in first before they resurface it, because it don't make any sense to throw limestone down on it if it's all underwater anyway.
Right. Alright. Stamp price increase.
Stamp prices are going up, 5 cents.
We didn't vote on that.
I thought we voted.
We did on the 2 road projects.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Did you say aye?
I believe so.
Okay, because I had you down as saying aye. So that's it.
No, we're good.
No, all in favor, aye, and then he said a no's and no no's, so. Okay, the stamp price is going up 5 cents on July 14th, so there'll be, right now we pay $68 for 100 stamps in a roll, and it's gonna go to $73, so I calculated it out.
73 cents.
73 cents, yeah, $73 for 100
Hmm,
is what I have written here.
Sorry.
You buy 13.6 rolls, you're gonna get 1 roll of 100 stamps free. And we invested the last time, and, we have the money, so I put on the suggestion, Pat and I talked about it, as doing $25,000 and putting them in the safe with the other ones.
Okay.
A lot of money on stuff.
Did we do that?
It's a lot of money. Yes, we did, and so actually, we're making even more on it when they go up, because they're all fit for other stamps, but we certainly have the money to be able to do it, so it's.
And we have 2 elections.
We do have elections this time, there's gonna be a lot of stamps out there.
They'll go fast.
They will go fast.
I make a motion that we, the $25,000
$25,000,
worth of
okay.
stamps before the increase.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Alright, we have a motion.
Should we put that 25,000 and a little more, because didn't last time it
Oh,
was
that's right.
just
Yeah.
a little bit
To round it
over?
up, to bid, yeah, rather than the exact amount.
Sure.
Yeah.
25,000 plus?
No, put a number on it,
Well,
not
I'd
to
have to
exceed,
think that,
like,
well, I don't have my
26,000.
calculator in that, but I can fill in the
Yeah.
I
figures.
think it was like 2,000 more or less.
Okay, then do
So,
27 or 28.
not to exceed 28,000.
Okay, gotcha, mm-hmm.
We have a motion, we have a second to purchase stamps not to exceed $28,000.
Righto.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, land division.
Okay, that one-
I'll go to John.
If you look at your thing, this was, Pat, you were asking about it, and, this was the one that, originally Wes was going to, try, and then the last one fell through, didn't it?
Yeah,
And now it's-
according to Dennis Stanley, it took too long to.
Yeah,
figure it out
there
because
was,
of- Yeah.
there were the deed
So I'm not
restrictions
sure
on
even
it.
why that's on there, I was not aware of it.
Yeah, it was, it's another one, here's the letter from, Dennis. West Columbia owns 78.33 acres in section 23, property code blah, blah, blah. Rig survey done, the preliminary drawing of a 13.5 acre parcel that fronts both Santiago and Jodway roads. Do you see any issues with the split? That was Dennis's letter to me.
I think what happened was, it took quite a long time.
It took quite a while the last time to get that.
And I think we didn't really have it up for sale, somebody was interested in it, so I'm not sure where it stands, but I don't know what you do with that.
So what we would do now, I mean, if you were, are you still intent on doing the split? Because Barbara has analyzed it, the assessor's analyzed it, she doesn't have any issues with it. All we would need is the application and the $150 and it can be split.
I'd have to talk to Dennis to know,
So
I
you
don't
wanna-
think we really have a
okay.
buyer and.
Got it, okay.
I'm
thought
not
this-
sure.
I thought, so we'll just table it for now and then do the, because.
Have you had that survey?
Yes.
Well, we had a buyer and it took a really long time for Barbara Jones to get back, and we
Right.
lost the buyer while that,
Wow,
I mean, it took a long
so
time.
I had gotten the impression, because this was actually the letter itself that came back to me was back in January.
Yeah, and by the time, so I'm
I'm not sure whether it's still valid at all.
Yeah, I don't even know, right?
Okay.
So we won't do the split unless.
There's actually a buyer.
Correct,
for it,
so I'll talk to Dennis and I'll be back with you.
Okay, and I can do the same thing, because I thought that with this letter, looked like it was, I thought it was more recent than this.
Is that, I didn't know.
Because I thought he had-
So is it, he has to ask for a split approval, is that?
Yeah, yes, and then, like I said, it took so long, there was questions about the deed restrictions and that kind of thing, and then, by the time Barbara, said it was okay, I guess that much time has passed, so.
Yeah, we had a guy that built in the wrong place.
Well, yeah, that was, I know there were some issues when it first came out there, okay. All right, then we will just go ahead and table on this one here, we can just move on and table this one per West.
Alright. Item E.
I'm sorry, and just as information, it doesn't, as long as Barbara approves it, then the board can vet, so if it's not something that would have to be slow tracked, from.
We have to come
now
back to
on.
a board meeting?
We would have to do it at the board meeting, but it wouldn't prevent for the approval to actually have it, it would be just a cosmetic thing for us to approve it.
Yeah, I think it's just been so long, I don't, honestly.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised that it was that, I saw my email, I thought that was more recent, so.
Yeah.
I thought in fact.
I think it started like, last November.
Yeah, it was quite a while back, that we went back and forth, so, okay, thanks, Will.
Street light at corner of Manor and Dwyer. Can I expand that?
Yes, I think so, because that was what we were gonna talk about, is Marilyn Bedore came in, she lives on the corner there, and she requested that we put a street light up. We had, when I first became clerk, Don Pavlacek had previously been supervisor when I came on, and that was one of his goals, was to put a street light on every corner. And that never got, never, that plan or desire and everything never went anywhere after that, when Tom Pavlacek became supervisor, but when Marilyn came in and said she would like to see one on her street corner, we certainly have them on other ones, so.
Then they have one at Manor and Davis.
Then you would probably have Manor and Davis, and I'm wondering if there's other streets that we should be considering.
I requested the road sign for Davis Road there from the road commission, but, let's stick with streetlights right now.
Sure. So what we can do is then is contact Balzer about it.
Right.
And see about what it would be to put them up and then decide if there's other that, we just, this just really get it rolling actually, is that, do we wanna go ahead and pursue it at all, or just say, no, you're not gonna get one?
Can you guys check the road, the light down here at the corner of Swenson and Manor?
Turning yellow?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kinda.
Yeah, you know, you as a citizen can report those anytime. If you Google, consumer power streetlights, it takes you to a reporting site. It's county, it's Michigan wide, and you just zoom in on the area where that streetlight is, and, then you report it. But, I mean, I can do that, I can do that now that you mentioned it and everything, but that it is, they've set this up so that any citizen can report this. And they ask you, is it blinking on and off, is it just orange, is it, you know, that kind of thing they have. And, they're pretty rapid about it. And you could ultimately find one where it's not on the map, which I did, found one that was not even there, and they all of a sudden after they got my message or whatever, the bing, it was on the map, so, and the streetlight was repaired, so, okay. So we're gonna just go ahead with that then and find out how much and come back to the board with it. No, I didn't think so, it was just really to talk about because I had the suggestion, so we'll go ahead and
I'll talk to
talk to
Bowser,
Bowser
yeah.
about doing it and seeing if, can we get a discount for doing more than one?
That would be consumers' power.
It would be consumer, yeah, that would be Bowser, yeah. And he had the last one we put in was on Shenfield, and by the way, and we had.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Oh, I knew that was coming. We had talked to him about the fact that light is insufficient. Remember that they had talked about they were gonna move it to the other side of the road and do all this stuff and everything. They had, we were told by Balzer to report it as being out. But I don't think anything's ever come to that, so that's another question for him when we do it. He said, go on the map thing and check it out, which I did. And then I had this rather wordy shocker, okay, that description of what it was that the problem was, how you can't see it from one side, but you can from the other. And then, so it doesn't fill its purpose of being you still got people gonna hit you in the ass end, because they don't see that you're gonna be turning, because they can't tell there's a street there, so.
You gotta pay for those lights when they put them in?
We do pay for that.
We
yeah,
do,
pay
Well, you might as well quit paying, if you ain't gonna fix it, well, quit paying for it,
Well,
cut
yeah,
Kola
that,
out.
you can't single out the cost for the streetlights when they bill you. When they bill you for all of that so much.
If you're paying for something that's useless.
I will
Sure.
take care of that in the morning.
Okay, thank you for that.
Now, the past, 3 years, we've had cleaned up the township in the fall. And over 3 years, we've filled 11 30-yard dumpsters with trash that otherwise would have been in the township. It's worked so well, we decided to also have a spring cleanup, so. In our agreement with with GFL, is the first 30-yard dumpster is free, they don't charge us for that, so. I called and asked to have a 30-yard dumpster set out here Friday, and if we need more than one, like we have in the past, we'll get them, so.
Yep.
We just want people to take advantage of it, be aware of it, and if you have any trash that you wanna get out of your yard, your house, whatever, we cannot accept refrigerators, air conditioners, paint, tires, anything with Freon, so, but I encourage everybody to take advantage of it. So.
Yep, you can put electronics in it,
Yep.
take that,
Yep.
or just anything that has refrigerant, you can't, and they won't take tires.
Right.
Or anything that's
Or
liquid
paint.
like paint,
Yeah.
or chemicals like that.
Last year, unfortunately, we found a 22 rifle in there.
Never did get that back.
I gave that to our deputy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick question or thought. I realized, I think the last year that we did get that dumpster, it filled up like
Very fast.
really fast.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So is there
Already.
any way you could be like, maybe even say, hey, we filled it up fast? I mean, I know it takes time to
Get 'em to turn
change
around,
them
yeah.
and turn around.
As
I
soon
know
as-
that one filled up, I mean, it was there not even probably a week and it was,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm happy for that. 'cause
One,
it
one
worked.
filled up in a weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
And as
yes.
soon as it's full, I call them and they're very
Cool.
good about getting
Awesome.
over here to
Yep.
swap
Thank
it
you.
out.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Alright. Board comment.
I'm all done.
I'd like to ask if, when the brine is going to go down on the roads.
I
We could call
haven't
them.
talked to Eastern Dust Control yet about that.
Okay.
Last year, we kinda late because we needed a good rain. Well, we've got good rains now, so. And I'm also noticing that the shoulders of the road, the grass is getting a little high, so. Those are two issues.
Is it bad on Nago Road and?
Very.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Your road is so dusty.
We will do 2 treatments, so if it's time to be done, we can arrange it.
Yeah, especially with the rain, that was the problem, they would grade, it would rain, and then they'd have to grade again, and then it wouldn't rain, and that's what went on, that went on for long.
We really, and trying to find somebody to mow the shoulders of the road has not been an easy task either, but, we have someone now, and, I noticed that, pretty soon we'll have the shoulders mowed, so. All right. Any other board comment?
Yes, thank you for coming. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
That's for sure.
It might get a little tense, but that's okay, you know, it's okay.
Public comment. Larry Davis.
Yes, Mr. Oxley,
Yes, sir.
would you repeat what you just said a while
I was
ago
saying
when I
that I
questioned-
don't think we
When
need
you-
to hear, you know.
Can I finish, please?
Yes, you can, I'm sorry, I
Okay.
thought you were requesting my response.
Okay. Will you repeat, when I mentioned Kola Farms and the problems that we've had, that we should take a look at their license, will you repeat the comment that you made toward me?
Just then, I just wanted everybody to be quiet.
No, but you also, what did you say, that nonsense, whatever, that you directed directly to Mike. So that tells me a whole lot about you and your position and where you sit when it comes to the rest of the folks in this township and how they may feel about marijuana. Every meeting that I've been to concerning marijuana, it's been Kola Farms. Wes about came out of his seat when I said we should take a look at his licenses going in the future.
No, I prefer it. When I came out of my seat was when you said
One at a
everything I
time.
touch is going down.
Pretty much.
Well,
yes.
like what?
Why are we here tonight? Because you
We're
want to
not,
expand.
we're not,
And that's when he
Okay.
attacked you, is what
I'm saying-
is misrepresented.
You-
What I'm
you'll
saying,
have your
and I
chance,
watched
Wes.
this whole meeting. Now, I have a question for the person that's running for supervisor.
You didn't tell me you were gonna say anything.
But I have a question for you. As we move forward, if you are elected, who's gonna be supervisor? You or Mike Oxley?
I would be supervisor if I were elected,
Okay,
but I would work with the whole board.
yeah.
And I would even work with Jim on any plans that he has moving forward. I think everybody needs to be listened to, and you have stopped people from talking through this whole meeting and just moved on. Everybody in this community needs to be listened to. Honestly, the marijuana stuff, that should have been voted on by the township, and it wasn't, it was shoved through. That's how I feel about that. Do I like Wes? Nah, I've heard things, you know, but I've worked for Wes, and I've worked for Kola Farm.
You never hear
And-
anything about the position, the marijuana plant uptown.
No, that's my thing is, why.
Because we don't know the next minutes is out.
we have 2 minutes.
That's not fair, and that's not
Alright.
true.
Okay, I've had my 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
And I accept
I
your
don't want
apology.
other people to interrupt you.
I don't know if I would do it or not, because I directed at me, so I would like to finish.
Wayne.
That's okay.
So, what happened here is clearly a personal vendetta amongst a number of people against an individual. Nancy Selle in past meetings has said, I don't have a problem with marijuana, I have a problem with pond scum, directed at this man here. Mr. She's admitting it yet again. This gentleman here, Mr. Davis, clearly said anything Wes touches turns to a mess. A personal attack on Wes Crumbly. I hate to tell you, Wes Crumbly's not the only person involved with Kola Farms. There are a number of people in this neighborhood. I can name off a number of people that live in this township. The board, through its vote, through its decision to send the same question that was answered back down to the planning commission, has facilitated this personal vendetta between Mr. Davis, Mrs. Selle, against a gentleman that's never attacked them. He's just doing what he can legally do on his property.
All right, thank you, Wayne.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, I just read through authorities and responsibility of Michigan townships. Let me read you what it says here. A township board meeting is not a debate or equal time situation for the public. The idea that all concerns, complaints, opinions, and so forth must be expressed at a board meeting is not mandated by law or recommended from a practical standpoint. By their nature, board meetings can be put aside on defense in a very public place. This meeting is for us to take care of board business, not all this stuff that's going on now. And another thing in here, it says if there's a personal attack, you come in. You don't do it here. You come in and you and the person sit down and talk about it.
Thank you, Penny.
Thank you, Penny.
At the time,
I was just kind of.
Yeah.
So just quick two things. I just want to remind Mr. Davis that at the last meeting, he said the board did a wonderful job and has been doing a wonderful job. Not sure why that has changed. I'd also like to say, could you just please expedite this process for the zoning board, and thank you for the board for consideration.
I encourage you, Wes. Yes, already.
On your expediting, I would like to know, same as Mr. Cromley does, do I have to check it every 18 hours to see when it's gonna be?
I can let you know when it is. I can let you know.
Pardon?
I can let you know. We've got your phone number.
Otherwise, I got it out here.
We're right on that.
Let's move ahead and adjourn.
Yeah, we do that. I mean, we have to post a special meeting, right? Okay, I just wanted to.
Alright, thank you for coming.
I'm not done
Have a
with public
pleasant
comment.
evening.
You never said done with public comment.
What have you to say,
Did you say,
Mr.?
you never said you're done with public comment?
Yes, I did.
Yes, we did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, man, I didn't hear you.
I have it written down here. Okay, make a
I'm just
motion.
confused who runs the township. Is it Mike Loxley or is it Jim Herzog?
We are a board.
Mike Loxley interrupted Loretta Gates when she was speaking earlier towards her. Just be quiet. And he's made a few other motions through this, and he was making motions. It's like, you're not the supervisor. You are the clerk.
Any
Jim
board
is,
member
Jim
can make a
is,
motion.
Jim is, yeah, but you're trying to run the show. Jim is the supervisor.
We are a
You
board.
are not the supervisor.
Not one person is.
You are pretending to be the supervisor. You are not the supervisor, Michael.
No. That's personal. If you have a
Amen.
problem with
That's not-
that,
I didn't attack
you
him.
come
I'm saying
in,
he's
not
I
at
bet it
this
was not, that
meeting.
was not an attack. I was saying that he's pretending to be the supervisor. That is not
In
an
my
attack.
opinion, it was an attack,
I'm sorry we don't understand what words mean, Penny.
and I'm attacking you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Alright, we're moving on. I need a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I second it.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor? Say aye. Thank you for
Aye.
coming. Have a pleasant evening.
I just wanted to let you know Memorial Day services,
How you
but if
doing?
you want to ignore me, I guess you can figure it out.
Not what I was hoping they were gonna talk about, but.